Hello and welcome, Jay Fizzette here, your Millionaire Mastermind mentor. So, you're thinking about running a mastermind. You gotta know, I think that is a brilliant idea. And I really believe that all coaches, trainers, and experts should actually be in two, meaning that we should be in a mastermind where we're on our leading learning edge, and we should be leading a mastermind, sharing our unique abilities, what we're learning with our tribe. And when we bookend our lives, our businesses with those masterminds, miracles happen. So I am simply just a raving fan of masterminds. Now, that said, I have been, number one, running masterminds, participating in masterminds, and coaching trainers, coaches, facilitators to run masterminds for the better part now of 25 years. Now, as much as I love masterminds, you know and I know, I have participated in, I will wager you've participated in, a variety of masterminds that were, I'm struggling to not curse, but I'm just gonna have to. They were pieces of shit. They were awful. They were a waste of your time, they were a waste of your money, they were a waste of your resources. And the truth of the matter is, there are far too many of those masterminds out and about. And I've been sort of half teasing that I actually think that the explosion in masterminds that has happened in this industry in the last, let's call it 4 years, actually happened like this. Somebody sold a mastermind and somebody paid a premium dollar for it. Maybe it was 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 or 50,000 bucks. And somebody writes the check, they hand it over. And then they go to the event and they sit down in the room and they look around and it's like, wow, there's like 30 people here who all paid $30,000. And they do the quick math. It's like, good Lord, that's like almost $1 million. That's $900,000. Good Lord, I'm going to run a mastermind. I actually think that that's the way that most masterminds have actually started. Somebody did quick math based on somebody else's success, and it's like, hey, I'm running one now. And the truth is, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, not a someone's chance in hell of actually running a successful mastermind. So, that said, obviously, that's a bit of a paradox. On the one hand, I want everyone to run masterminds, but I want you to run good ones. On the other hand, we got a bunch of masterminds out there that are frankly a little bit of crap. And if I'm going to be blunt, pieces of shit. I'm from Saskatchewan. I curse if you didn't know. So here's what we did. I want to serve and support you to run a mastermind, and I want you to run a fantastic mastermind, which is why I designed this training called Mastermind Essentials. Now, Mastermind Essentials really follows the 6 pillars of masterminds that work. And the reality is this, is that these pillars all have to be lined up, and there's a foundation that if they are not lined up perfectly, your mastermind will ultimately fail. And the truth is, you can have 5 in line and 1 off, it'll still fail. You can have 4 in line and have 2 off, it'll fail. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So the Mastermind Essentials program, we actually, number one, share with you what all of those 6 pillars are. And I'm happy to tell you what they are now. This is not a big secret. The first of which is perfect positioning. Positioning you, positioning the mastermind, and positioning your tribe. If you get that right, the rest is easy. You get it wrong, it's epically painful. The second of which is this. You must then do your own personal evolution. Because if your mastermind doesn't sell and you've done all the other pieces, here's the reality of it. Your tribe doesn't see you as the leader of the tribe. You don't have enough authority. You don't have enough respect. You don't have enough influence to actually succeed. That becomes an inside job. So you've got to do your own personal evolution, your own personal work. Then the next piece is fill your masterminds with ease. And we teach a process that transcends almost any other process for creating mastermind members, which is all about intimacy. So those first 3 pillars that you've got to get lined up are to get the mastermind up and running. But now, the tough part, you got to keep it running. And that takes a whole different skill set, which is commitment. And that is setting commitment, resetting commitment, and maintaining commitment within the group. That is absolutely imperative. Without that, they're all fiascos. The next is facilitator skills, how to manage small groups, how to manage the dynamics of human beings that will naturally have friction. Then the third part of the second part, which is the 6th pillar, is creating content. So those are the 6 pillars. And the Mastermind Essentials program dives into every single one of these 6 pillars and gives you, number one, tools and resources to identify and recognize and apply what they are. And most importantly, provides you a framework to evaluate yourself on your strength and ability with that pillar. So you'll know in an instant, it's like, you know what, I have got rock star positioning, but my facilitator skills are weak. Or I've got exceptional personal evolution, but my positioning is still a little bit off. You'll know exactly what your strengths are and what your challenges are so that you can get them addressed and run the mastermind that will truly knock it out of the park for you and for your tribe. So here's the thing. This Mastermind Essentials program is unbelievably comprehensive. It is based on quite literally decades of training people to do this work, and there is nothing in there that you can do without. And I just mean that in all seriousness. If you're planning a mastermind, or frankly, if you have a mastermind that isn't working the way that you would like it to, because, a little sidebar, I get called in to clean up all kinds of other people's masterminds. In fact, I've been toying with a program called Mutiny on the Mastermind. And people run into these troubles because they don't know the 6 pillars. So for goodness sakes, if you're thinking about a mastermind, this is just a necessary prerequisite. You can't do it without it, as clear as I can say it. So this very comprehensive program is $497. It is the most important $497 that you will ever spend in the mastermind domain because it will help you get these things lined up. Now, I want you to understand something. Most of you have heard me say, look, you can add 6 figures with very little effort to your bottom line running masterminds. That's absolutely true. But you don't often hear the other side of it, which is this. You know, I was teasing about the mutiny on the masterminds. When a mastermind goes wrong, and let's just, say for fun and entertainment that you are running a $10,000 a year mastermind, which in the mastermind domain is actually pretty reasonably priced. You're running a $10,000 a year mastermind and you have 10 people in it. That is $100,000 a year, $100,000 a year income to you and your business. But if the commitment begins to wane, and 1 or 2 of the members begin to express their dissatisfaction and begin to lobby the rest of the group about how this is going to go, and you're not quite doing it right, and there's a problem here, and they don't like Bob, and Bob has been bringing the energy of the group down, and by the way, all of these things happen in every single mastermind always, you've just got to know how to handle them. If you don't handle that correctly, and the mastermind blows up, you didn't just lose a coaching client. You actually now lost $100,000 of income, because when it blows up, it's gone, it's done, it's toast. Let me tell you, I've been doing this long enough that I've seen it too many times. You have lost $100,000 of income. And by the way, now trying to build your next mastermind, very difficult because people talk and your confidence is rattled. So do yourself a favor. Get the training, get the framework, get the pillars, understand where you're at, and get the support that you need to knock your mastermind out of the park from the beginning. You do not want one of those fiascos. It's too expensive. It's too hard on your ego. It does your tribe a tremendous disservice. Just learn the skills. And this program, it's usually $497, but God, we want to get it in the hands of people who are interested in this, so you can get a wicked deal by simply clicking the button below, and you can jump immediately into the Mastermind Essentials program and find out what your strengths are, find out what your challenges are, and make sure those pillars get lined up so you can knock it out of the park with your mastermind. Click the button, you'll be thrilled that you did.